Okay, so we just finished doing the driveway with the snowblower. That's running like a tip top. So the video that I want to show you today is a bit of an issue I had with my generator. And the only problem I had with it was the guy that owns it. That's me. So if you look at the top of this rag I have here, it's all stained. It wasn't stained. So what happened with the generator is every fall I put new gas in it. When I put the cap on, it wasn't put on right. I put it kind of cockeyed. So half of the fuel evaporated, and that's why this, look at this, it's all stained. So when that evaporated, well, a whole bunch of water got into the fuel, and there's no way in hell this thing would start. It's a beautiful generator. Bought this in 1999, and I didn't buy it because of Y2K and the freaking Martians were going to land or get Red Dawn like Patrick Swayze and all this stuff. I bought it for a backup for my house because every time there would be a snowstorm, somebody would hit the power lines and we'd have no power. And I remember, was it 20 years ago in Ontario, we had no power for 3 days, so they came in handy. This thing is absolutely mint. It's a Honda EM 6500S, and this is a really nice piece of machinery. Like I say, the only issue I had was, oh, I better put this on here. This is coming on. The only issue I had with it was the, oh, there we go. I did my maintenance for the day. Was the fuel. So what happened is I tried to start it. Nothing. It wouldn't run at all. I took the plug out. The plug was wet. So obviously, fuel was contaminated. So first thing I did, I drained all the fuel out of it. I drained the oil because I didn't want make sure there's no gas in the, any fuel, gasoline in the oil pan or the oil reservoir. So I drained the oil was good, refilled it. I took the fuel line out of here, let it drain. I took there's a little bowl under here. I drained all the fuel completely out, put some paper towels in there, absorbed it as much as I could. Once I had this done, took the air filter off. And on these generators, and all the generators I've seen, they have this little contraption right here. You can see it here. It's right there. And what it is, it's a fuel shut off. And what that does, it's electrically operated. So when the generator is running, it has constant speed. When you turn the generator off, it shuts the fuel off to your bowl, your carburetor. Now, so what I did, like I said, we're going to go back, drain the fuel, drained everything. I took the bowl off, took all this off, of course. It wasn't hard, it was only like 3 bolts to hold this thing on. I took this little solenoid thing off, brought it to my car battery, clicked it. It was working pretty good, but I wanted to make sure. So I took some brake cleaner, toothbrush, rechasted it, make sure it's nice and free. Then, once the bowl was gone, I took the needle and seat out. I moved the float was nice and clean. Took the jet out. I think the jet was a little bit of crap in there. Took the compressor, cleaned all the jet out, make sure there's nothing in there. Put that back in. Before I put this bowl back on, I put the float with the needle and seat back in, and I moved it up and down while blowing into the fuel line. So as I was blowing to here, I would move the bowl up and down, make sure it was shutting off, which it was. Okay, so we had that problem fixed. Then reassembled all this, reconnected the fuel line. And one thing I like about this generator, it has a automatic choke, or you can manually choke it here. So what I did, when I had this hooked up on my house, I put an auxiliary box in the house, and I got, if you notice, I got a little connector here. It's just a trailer hitch connector. So what I did, I wired a switch in parallel with the switch in front here. Well, I would leave this on. I would go in the house, so it would start, and I had another voltmeter hooked up to the DC side. But now my hour meters worked. How many hours I got in this thing? I didn't even check. Let's check how many hours. So only got what, 36 hours? Yeah, 36 hours on it. I put this on. But it's been a really good generator, so I have a backup here. I got a box inside of my house, and maybe I'll do another video how I did that. So we're gonna try it again. This is a cold start, and like you say, it's cool. It's dead cold. Let's hope this video doesn't screw up me being an idiot here. So anyways, we're gonna put our fuel on. I don't run it dry. I made sure I just run it, shut it off, and I put stabilizer in here. So this, theoretically, this thing should start. It's hooked up to my battery. Then we're gonna put this on, not auto, we're gonna put the auto off. And here goes nothing. The choke is still on. So we're going to come out here. So basically, the choke it's running a little bit rough until the choke comes off. When the choke comes off, I'll be able to put it back on. But that's the video there. It's running pretty good. It's running like brand new. So there you go. Rule of thumb: if you have any Honda product I ever owned, if it doesn't start by the second crank, there's something wrong with it. So the only problem with this one was the dum behind the camera here. Didn't put this on tight. All the fuel got contaminated. Cleaned it all out, and starts like $1 million, like right now. So yeah, so like, what's the point of having a generator if the damn thing doesn't run? So anyways, I just thought I'd show a video. I'm not going to go too much and maintain a lot of other videos how to repair this stuff. But the whole main issue of this video is to make sure your fuel doesn't get contaminated, because you're going to have a shit show here trying to start this thing. Anyways, there you go. And it's like an older generator. I'll tell you, this thing is freaking awesome. I never had any issues with it until this year. And like I say, it's a 1999. What is 26 years old, and every year we change the oil, change the oil. If I used it or not, change the oil, put new gas in it. But this time, I didn't put the gas cap on right, and it contaminated the fuel, and it wouldn't even fire. So anyways, so 73s for everybody out there, and I hope everything's well, and keep on trucking.